Ma perché ci sia un miracolo importante è che ci sia una guarigione completa, rapida e definitiva e soprattutto una guarigione che la medicina nello stato attuale delle sue conoscenze non può spiegare.
One day, I came across the story of a miracle.
When that miracle is given to us, what are the messages that God would like to give us? What do you think?
We are used to normal, let's say, miracles that happen every day. The life, everything we see in nature, even in ourselves, no? It's a complete miracle, the creation of the creation, but we that consider normal, no? But then there's those miracles that go beyond what is normal. It goes beyond what is normal to give us even a stronger message that He takes care of us, that He doesn't forget us.
Il Santo Padre ama tanto quando deve parlare del miracolo, parlare del dito di Dio, no, nella vita della Chiesa. E appunto noi spesso questo lo definiamo dicendo appunto che è la firma di Dio sulle cause di beatificazione e canonizzazione, che siamo sul percorso giusto.
God's guiding hand is at work every moment of every day. On Christmas night, divine grace embraces the world.
성탄절은 기적과 성인들에 대해 말하기에 가장 좋은 시간입니다. 기적은 사실 하느님 존재에 관한 문제입니다. 그런데 현대인은 기적이 아니라 자연 이치와 과학 만능을 믿습니다. 자신이 하느님으로부터 독립하였음을 주장하기 위해서지요. 그렇게 사람은 스스로 머리 위에 하늘을 닫고 어디로 가는지 알지 못한 채 절망에 이르도록 혼란에 빠집니다. 그러나 기억하십시오. 하느님은 우리에 대한 사랑으로 구원의 권능을 지니고 언제나 곁에 계십니다. 하느님께서 살아계시며 우리의 기도에 응답해 주시니 기도합시다. 이 다큐멘터리가 우리의 믿음을 새롭게 하는 귀한 성탄의 선물이 되기를 바랍니다.
A story about a young girl arrived from Annecy, France, like a precious gift of grace. The Vatican, the smallest country in the world, remains the greatest sanctuary for the faithful. I returned in this sacred place, which I had last visited in the spring of 2024.
안녕하세요. 안녕하세요. 저희 부서에 오신 거 환영합니다. 네.
Monsignor Han Agostino Hyuntaek is the office head at the Dicastery for Evangelization of the Holy See. He serves as the interpreter whenever the President of Korea has an audience with the Pope.
저 보로미니가 만든 천사 너무 귀엽죠? 여기 엘리베이터가 있습니다. 어떻게 이 건물에서 엘리베이터 놓을 자리를 찾아가지고 나중에 놓은 거죠. 지난번엔 정신이 피곤하고.
He kindly introduced me to the hidden gems and stories of the Dicastery for Evangelization. The Dicastery for Evangelization oversees the global missionary efforts of the Catholic Church. Therefore, It represents the Holy See's closest link to Korea.
이 작품은 한국에 있는 천주교 신자들은 지나가면서라도 한 번은 다 봤을 거예요. 굉장히 유명한 작품들이거든요. 예. 여기는 성모님, 예수님, 세례자 요한을 이렇게 표현한 거고요.
한국적인 아름다움 그대로 돼 있어서 참 좋으네요.
저도 여기 와서 이 작품이 여기 있다는 걸 알게 됐는데요. 뭐 그 전에 유학하는 신부로서도 들어볼 수가 없었으니까요. 근데 그런 생각합니다. 만약에 이 작품이 한국에 있었으면 살아남을 수 있었을까? 왜냐면 저기 낙관에 1949년이라고 써 있거든요.
전쟁 때문에 그렇겠네요.
그래서 교황청에 있었기 때문에 살아남지 않아요. 수에즈 운하 거쳐서 왔을 텐데. 여기는 이제 새 성인은 순교성인 김대건 안드레아 신부님, 유대철 베드로, 그다음에 남종삼 요한, 세 남자 성인들이십니다.
The Korean martyrs I encountered in the Vatican left me with a deep sense of reverence.
여기서 기도 한번 하고 갈까요? 네. 성부와 성자와 성령의 이름으로
아멘.
하늘에 계신 우리 아버지, 아버지의 이름이 거룩히 빛나시며 아버지의 나라가 오시며 아버지의 뜻이 하늘에서와 같이 땅에서도 이루어지소서. 오늘 저희에게 일용할 양식을 주시고 저희에게 잘못한 일을 저희가 용서하오니 저희 죄를 용서하시고 저희를 유혹에 빠지지 않게 하시고 악에서 구하소서. 성부와 성자와 성령의 이름으로 아멘. 회장님, 여기는 네 분의 이제 창설자, 교황청 전교회의 창설자분들이신데요. 그 중에 이제 우리 메일린이 그분의 전구로 기적을 받은 그 복녀가 바로 이 교황청 전교회 창설자이신 마리 볼린 자리코 복녀이십니다.
Pauline Jaricot, the daughter of a wealthy silk factory owner, gave up her privileged life to work alongside the laborers, sending her wages to support missions around the world. During my time in the Vatican, I first learned about the figure who had a profound impact on the history of Korean Catholicism.
이분이 어떤 분이셨다 하는 걸 전혀 몰랐어요, 나는. 지난 5월에 와서 이 안을 그 한현택 몬시녀께서 안내를 해주셨어요. 그 보고마성 그 부서들이 있는 사무실이기 때문에. 그래서 그 안내를 해주시다가 폴린 자리코 복자의 초상을 보면서 이분이 어떤 분이시고 어떤 일을 하셨다라는 설명을 하셨는데, 그 이야기를 하던 중에 2012년에 그 메일린한테서 일어난 기적을 간단하게 나한테 설명을 해주셨어요. 그러면서 이제 그 기적이 폴린 자리코 그 당시 가경자에게 학생들이 전구 기도를 하면서 그 기적이 일어나서 아이는 살아났고 결국 그 기적으로 공인이 돼서 폴린 자리코 가경자는 시복이 되셨죠. 그 이야기를 들었어요. 그래서 이 탐사 여정의 시작이 바로 그때였습니다. 그날이었습니다.
The story guided my steps and moved my heart.
이제 오셨겠죠? 10분 지났으니까.
어느 나라 분이시죠?
노박 신부님은 폴란드계 캐나다예요.
캐나다에? 그때 만났다.
영어로 아주 영어로 아주
맞아요.
잘하죠. Buongiorno, Reverendissimo. Buongiorno.
Good morning. Welcome to my office, to this General Secretariat of the Propagation of the Faith Society, and God bless the Church and all of Korea.
오늘 귀한 시간 내주셔서 감사드립니다. 먼저 그 교황청 전교회는 어떤 곳인지 간단하게 말씀을 해주시면 감사하겠습니다.
The society was born in Lyon, France, in 1822 on May 3rd. It was registered as the Association for the Propagation of the Faith. But long before it was registered officially in the Archdiocese of Lyon, and then in France, It was a movement begun by Blessed Pauline Marie Jaricot. 1960s, when Pope John the 23rd became the successor of St. Peter, he decided to open the cause of her canonization and declared her servant of God or venerable. And from that moment on, there was a process to find a way to promote her prayer through intercession, promote her knowledge of who she was, her holiness, so that one day, if there was a miracle, she could be beatified.
In May 2022, Pauline Jaricot was beatified. There had been a miracle.
We grant the faculty that the Venerable Servant of God, Pauline Marie Jaricot,
And so in Lyon, France, I was there. I cried during the beatification. It was so remarkable. And Mayline, who was healed through her intercession, carried the relic of her heart to the altar during the ceremony. Very, very moving ceremony.
Pauline Jaricot and Mayline. The once distant word miracle now stirred my heart.
처음 그 메일린의 이야기를 듣고 나서 그 이미지가 머리에서 떠나질 않았어요. 요즘 같은 세상에 이 기적이 과학적인 추론이 뒷받침되지 않으면 뭐 우연의 일치겠지, 또는 기적이라는 게 정말 있기나 하나, 그렇게 지나가는 게 요즘 세상 아니겠어요? 그런데 저는 그 이야기를 듣고 나서 기적의 실체, 기적이 일어난 그 모습을 한번 꼭 봐야 되겠다는 생각이 든 거죠. 어쩌면 이 기적을 저로 하여금 따라가게끔 하신 뜻도 사람들에게 알리고 공감하도록 하라는 뜻이 아니었나라는 생각이 들기 시작을 했습니다.
I came to France in search of a miracle. My journey began in Annecy, the hometown of Mayline, the girl who came back from the brink of death. While Mayline was at school, her parents, Manu and Natalie, welcomed me with open arms. Their kindness filled my heart with warmth.
Hey, Manu.
Good morning.
Okay, right.
How are you?
Hey.
How are you?
Good?
Good?
Good.
Yes.
All good?
Yeah, that's good? Okay,
Yes.
thank you. Thank you. Oh.
It's okay, the travel?
Yeah, okay.
Not too tired?
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Yes.
It's okay, it's okay.
Not too cold?
No. Oh, over here it's cold.
It's cold?
I started from Roma.
Yes.
And then it's getting colder and colder and colder.
It's okay, it's 15 degrees.
Yeah.
With the beach.
You were young too.
Yes, I know.
Need more hair.
The color changed as well.
Okay.
Yes.
Very cute. So these are
It was
before the
a
accident?
Yes, she was 9 months.
Uh-huh.
It was a baptism.
Baptism.
Ah,
Yes.
okay.
And it was she was younger.
Okay.
Blessed with 2 daughters, they had lived a happy life just like any other family. Mayline's mother, Natalie, is a Korean adoptee. When Natalie was adopted at 6 months old, her name was Insil, the same as Mayline's middle name. Our shared Korean heritage forged a remarkable connection.
우선 인터뷰에 들어가기에 앞서서 이번 메일린한테 일어난 일을 통해서 이 만우와 만우의 가족과 제가 알게 되고 이렇게 친구가 된 것을 상당히 기쁘게 생각합니다. 전 그것조차도 하나님의 축복이라고 생각해요. 그래서 지금부터 제가 다소 좀 어려울 수 있는 질문이지만 그 기억하기 싫은 그날을 다시 떠올리는 게 쉽지 않은 일이겠지만 제가 질문을 드리도록 하겠습니다. Reminding of what happened on that day may already be very painful to you, but I have no choice but to ask you to explain me what happened on that night first.
Well, we were celebrating almost the end of the school year, and we were about to move from Lyon to the south of France. So Nathalie organized a little party with the 2 mothers and the kids. Unfortunately, while the kids were playing, we said to Mayline that she was three and a half at that time. We said that she needed to eat prior to play with the kids. And on the very first bite, she started suffocating on a piece of food. She came towards me, tapping her feet on the floor and holding her throat in between her hands. So I realized that she was actually suffocating. So I was yelling to Natalie to call for rescue, and by the time, at the same time she was calling, I was still trying to help Mayline for that piece of food. But I was trying and trying and trying, and nothing was happening until she fell in my arms, and I could see she was not breathing, and her heart stopped.
What happened after she arrived at the hospital with emergency crew?
And we were placed in a small room close to this floor, and they said to us after long hours that they have a hard time maintaining her in life, and that she will probably not go through the night.
Mayline was only 3.5 years old when it all happened. The little girl who loved nothing more than being pushed on a bike. Her laughter that had once brightened weekend afternoons vanished. The family's time came to a standstill. I visited the scene of the tragedy that occurred on the evening of May 29, 2012. 47 Rue de Sèche in the 6th district of Lyon. The apartments located right next to the girls' old school.
이 집이네, 이 집. 아빠 얘기에 의하면 여기 보도블락에
피를 쏟아서 피가 여기 잔뜩 있었다고 그래요. 그 어린 딸을 안고 얼마나 다급했을까. 보기만 해도 가슴이 철렁하네요. I tried to imagine what they had gone through that day, waiting for the paramedics and rushing to the hospital. It left me almost breathless. How did Alexander, the paramedic who witnessed the accident, remember the day? 28번지. He now lives in Beaujolais. Hello. Bonjour.
Bonjour. Enchanté.
Nice to meet you. Enchanté.
Entrez, je vous en prie.
Thank you. You okay? I heard you are hurt.
Yes, it's good.
Good?
Yes, yes.
Okay, and my condolences. I heard that you lost
thanks.
uncle today.
Thanks.
Okay. This the daughter that you talked about?
Yes, it's me and my son. Ma fille, Mayline.
Okay.
Mayline.
Your daughter. Ah, okay.
Mayline, Eloane.
So she's same age as Mayline.
Ah, yes.
Okay,
yes.
okay. When he responded to the call, he too was a father to a young girl. 오늘 이렇게 몸도 편찮으시고 한데 시간 내주셔서 고맙습니다. Okay. 사고를 당한 메일린이 지금 제가 짐작을 해봐도 너무나도 여리고 작은 아이였는데 소방관님도 자녀가 있고 그래서 더 안타까우셨을 것 같은데 사고가 있던 날 출동을 하셔서 그 집 앞에 도착을 하셨을 때 메일린은 어떤 상태였습니까?
Quand nous sommes intervenus, nous savions que c'était un enfant. Nous n'avions pas vraiment l'âge. Et quand on est arrivé, j'ai vu que c'était une enfant très très jeune, de 3 ans, qui avait l'âge de ma fille, pratiquement à cette époque-là. Donc c'est très compliqué. Mayline était en arrêt cardio-respiratoire. Mais on avait tellement envie de la sauver qu'on a procédé on a fait les gestes qu'il fallait. Et c'est plus tard, quand Mayline est arrivée à l'hôpital, qu'on a un petit peu soufflé et qu'on a compris que c'était quelque chose de très grave.
I tried to piece together the events of that desperate evening. Sarah was another witness at the scene. 네, 안녕하십니까? 오늘 시간 내주셔서 고맙습니다. 메일린 가족의 아주 친한 친구로서 메일린이 사고를 당하던 날 그날 저녁에 같이 계셨다고 들었습니다. 그날 상황이 얼마나 다급했었는지 말씀해 주시겠습니까?
C'était en fait tellement rapide qu'on n'a pas eu le temps de comprendre. Nat et Manu sont partis avec Mayline en ambulance avec les pompiers qui ont été escortés de mémoire par la police aussi. Nous, moi j'ai gardé Lyon. On a attendu jusqu'à ce que je les rejoigne à l'hôpital au milieu de la nuit, vers minuit. Je suis retournée pour les voir. Avec une petite saucisse, on peut en arriver là et que ça soit aussi brutal.
I remember before the accident started, Mayline asked to play with us. Me and my friends, we were in the bedroom. She asked to play with us and we said no. And so she went to the salon and a few minutes later I heard her screams, and when I came into the room, she was rejecting blood of her mouth, and everything happened really fast, so I don't really remember the order of the things that happened, but I remember when my dad called the ambulance, and he took my sister And I remember her face that was looking at me, and she couldn't breathe, and she was rejecting blood. I think of her, and I took her doo-doo, which she slept with, and I gave it to my dad, and I said that she couldn't sleep without it, so he had to take it for her to the hospital.
The image of her little sister on that evening, forever imprinted in Luan's memory, was truly heartbreaking.
Look in front of you.
Okay, when she got hospitalized, and as you said, the doctor said she finally gets stabilized in her heartbeat. Then a few days must be passing, and what happened after those few days afterwards, after the first night?
Well, after the first night, they made a series of tests. They've done a MRI for the brain. They tested the signals, the brain signals, and then 3 days after, they made another series of tests. And so the very first series of tests showed that she had lost all the brain signal on one side, and she had very little signal on the other side. And the MRI of the brain showed that everything was damaged. They were saying white traces everywhere on the brain, and it looked like I don't know, how would you say that, holes everywhere. And that was really bad. So after 10 days, finally, she had lost signals on both sides, and the brain damage was crazy.
When Mayline arrived at the emergency room, she was in a Glasgow level 3 brain state, the most critical level on the coma scale. Following multiple cardiac arrest, cerebral hypoxia, and damage to the basal ganglia, faint hope gave way to utter despair 10 days after the accident.
It was a very difficult time, and as you said, that the pain is undescribable. It's just, I don't know, you're just living with no goals anymore. Everything is being torn apart from your inside, and you feel no pain, no hunger, you don't want to eat, you don't want to drink, you don't want to do nothing. I would say the difficult part was just to stand still, just because we had Luan, and we had to just be together, because that was almost a birthday. You need to organize the birthday party for her with her friends, and just be as I don't know. That was the only thing that was difficult to me. The rest has, I'm not saying no sense, but it was not important.
Seeing the unbearable sorrow of parents who couldn't save their little girl from the brink of death, it pained me to keep asking questions. The doctors who treated Mayline never responded to our request for an interview. No doubt they were perplexed by a case where a patient declared irrecoverable miraculously came back to life. By chance, Dr. Kim Jong-min, neurologist from Seoul National University Hospital, was in Geneva.
예, 교수님 오늘 시간 내주셔서 고맙습니다. 예, 저희가 이번 일을 취재를 하면서 많은 그 증언을 듣고 또 설명을 들었습니다만 아무래도 제가 의사가 아니기 때문에 제가 이해하는데 조금 어려움이 있었습니다. 그래서 오늘은 선생님을 모시고 그쪽에 설명을 좀 듣고자 합니다. 예, 시간 내주셔서 고맙습니다. 예.
고맙습니다. 이렇게 좋은 프로그램에 불러주셔서 고맙습니다.
예. 아이가 병원에 도착할 때까지 여러 번의 그 심정지가 반복됐다고 들었습니다. 예, 심정지가 발생하면 그 다음은 어떻게 진행이 됩니까?
예, 그래서 심정지가 발생하게 되면 전신으로 혈액 공급이 일시적으로 중단되게 되는데 심정지 상태가 지속되면 그런 이제 혈류 공급이 계속 안 되는 상황이 발생하게 되는 거죠. 이때 취약한 장기가 특히 뇌가 되겠는데 뇌세포에 5분 이상 혈류가 중단되게 되면 뇌세포에는 비가역적인 허혈성 손상에 빠지게 되고 이러한 이제 허혈성 손상에 빠진 뇌세포는 다른 세포와는 달리 회복이 불가능한 비가역적인 손상이 초래가 됩니다. 그래서 그 이후에는 혈류가 재개통된다 하더라도 돌이킬 수 없는 손상 후유증이 발생합니다.
Brain cell damage from cardiac arrest and oxygen deprivation progressed rapidly, resulting in extensive damage to the central basal nuclei, a grim prognosis.
N20 반응이 양측 모두 없었다라고 이야기를 하는데 그건 무슨 이야기입니까?
N20라는 것은 이제 유발전이 검사를 통해서 즉 감각신경에 반복적인 자극을 주어서 우리가 감각신경을 담당하는 대뇌의 활동 전이를 이제 포착하여 분석하는 게 되겠습니다. 그래서 여러 연구에서는 N20가 양쪽 대뇌에서 소실되는 경우 그 혼수 환자는 깨어날 가능성도 많이 떨어질 뿐만이 아니라 곧 사망할 가능성이 높다는 것이 보고된 바가 있습니다.
N20이 손상이 되면 깨어날 가능성이 희박하고 대부분의 경우에 사망에 이른다라고 본다는 거죠.
네, 맞습니다.
예.
Bilateral absence of N20. This alarming medical term indicates that her autonomic dysfunction was approaching its final stage with no chance of survival. No possibility of recovery. This devastating diagnosis shattered all remaining hope.
I know that we've been appointed more than twice to explain us that there's going to be a project for ending her life. The only thing that would be a way to terminate her life would be to not give her food anymore, and we didn't want that. But we prayed a lot, and at that time, I was not baptized, but I was praying as well a lot.
What did you pray?
I pray a lot for Marie because I was thinking she's mother also, and she knows the pain you can feel when you lost a child. So that's why I pray a lot, Marie.
Natalie would have given her life to save her young daughter. The mother's prayer was akin to tears of blood.
And after we said maybe she should receive the sickness sacrament, the sick people sacrament. And we had a brother and a sister that came to Mayline's bedroom to give her the sacrament. And I remember when they were there, they were like, but I don't feel she will ever die, because she looks like she's resting. And I remember at this time when all the sacraments were given, I had this prayer, and prayer changed at this day. And you always pray for somebody to get better, and came to a point where you actually, I prayed and I said, if you decide to take her with you, just love her as much as we love her. And if you decide to leave her with us, just leave her the way she is. And I think my faith changed at this time. Just leaving everything in God's will, and there's nothing we could hope, nothing we knew scientifically that would happen. And if somebody could change something, that was God and only God.
You okay?
Yeah.
Should we take a break or just go ahead?
Yeah, it's fine.
Go ahead.
It was the most challenging moment of my quest for the miracle. How did Manu and Natalie endure those suffocating times? I visited the churches where Manu had knelt in prayer and followed the tear-stained path he had walked. The parents endured unrelenting hardship in what seemed like endless darkness.
아이가 처음 숨이 멎고 병원에 가서 이제 이 아이는 죽음에 이른 것과 같다라는 통보를 받고, 그리고 집으로 돌아갈 때의 부모의 심정이 어떨까는 사실은 상상이 잘 되질 않습니다. 그 부모의 절박함, 비탄, 또 나락으로 떨어진 것 같은 그런 마음을 제가 어떻게 공감할 수 있겠습니까? 경험하지 않았는데. 내가 공감할 수조차 없을 것 같은 그 비탄의 깊이를 따라가 보려고 애쓰면서 차를 타고 가는데 마음이 무겁더군요. 무거운 정도를 넘어서서 힘들었습니다, 사실. 창밖으로 흘러가는 불빛들, 일상에서 전혀 벗어나지 않은 사람들, 일을 끝내고 돌아가는 평화로운 시간의 사람들, 그런 풍경들이 다 나도 그 안에 하나였는데 어느 순간부터는 전혀 나하고 상관없는 다른 세계의 풍경같이 느껴지는 그 부조화 속에서 메일린의 부모는 과연 어떤 마음이었을까 라는 생각이 들었어요.
Even amid profound despair, the world's clock continues to tick as usual, with days fading and dawning anew. When the noble efforts of medicine and science fail to save a life, what can we do?
And at such kind of real time of despair, I heard that there was a very encouraging news from Elizabeth Descarac about the gift for Mayline. Could you tell me about that?
She was the mother of a kid that was at school, and she already lost a child, and she said that we couldn't lose one more in the school. She's part of the Living Rosary, and she said that maybe we could do a novena through the intercession of Pauline Jaricot. We didn't know at this time Pauline Jaricot, but we received the novena through the director of the school.
Elizabeth Descarac was the one who proposed novena. Help comes from God.
Je vous salue Marie, pleine de grâce, le Seigneur est avec vous. Vous êtes bénie entre toutes les femmes, et Jésus, le fruit de vos entrailles, est béni. Sainte Marie, Mère de Dieu, priez pour nous pauvres pécheurs, maintenant et à l'heure de notre mort, ainsi soit-il. Un jour, notre dernière fille était à l'école primaire dans le 6e arrondissement à Lyon. Là, c'est une école qui s'appelle le Courdiau. Elle était à l'école primaire. Et il y avait une petite fille qui s'appelait Mayline, qui était à l'école maternelle, enfin, en classe de petite section. Je crois qu'elle avait 3 ans et demi. Alors, entre-temps, moi, j'avais essayé d'aller la voir à l'hôpital et évidemment, elle était en soins intensifs et c'était pas possible. Alors, je me suis dit que c'était 2012, était une année jubilaire. Nous fêtions les 150 ans de la mort de Pauline Jaricot. Et puis, j'ai eu l'idée de demander à la directrice de l'école, justement, cette année jubilaire, que Pauline Jaricot peut-être pourrait faire un miracle pour cette petite Mayline.
The novena marked a turning point in Mayline's recovery. The novena, initiated by Madame Descarac, inspired participation from teachers and students at Lyon's Catholic school, Courdiau. I met with Veronique, the school's former principal, who had decided to join the effort.
Alors, je connaissais bien Madame Descarac et immédiatement, j'ai pensé que c'était absolument nécessaire de faire cette neuvaine. Moi-même, je connaissais un peu l'histoire de Pauline Marie Jaricot, donc il fallait vraiment que l'on fasse tout de suite cette neuvaine pour la famille Tran. J'ai averti également le prêtre de la paroisse qui a tout de suite aussi relayé aux instances du diocèse et les parents également chez eux et les enseignantes. Tous les parents ont été partie prenante pour faire cette prière. Et puis nous avions la fête de l'école. C'est Madame Descarac qui nous avait donné, si vous voulez, la prière vraiment formelle à faire pour la guérison de quelqu'un en priant Pauline Marie Jaricot. Donc nous avons récité en classe, dans toutes les classes, cette prière à Pauline Marie Jaricot.
Some prayers are incredibly powerful. They open closed doors, create new paths, and bring forth light.
메일린을 위한 9일 기도가 시작이 됐습니다. 저 아래 보이는 수많은 집들처럼 메일린을 알지조차 못하는 수많은 사람들이 기도에 동참을 하기 시작을 했습니다. 아마 그 기도 자체로 기적은 시작된 것일지도 모릅니다.
The novena began in Lyon, spreading to Cannes and across France, led by angels of prayer who clasped their hands for a child they had never met. From Jerusalem to far corners of the world, strangers joined in, their prayers growing stronger and more fervent with each passing day.
Et une journée à la messe, il y avait une intention de prier qui était donnée par la maison de Lyon, des familles missionnaires. Et là, pendant cette messe, il y avait une intention de prier qui était donnée à une fille qui habitait en Lyon, qui était en coma. Avec cet incendie qui était passé tragique, qui était étouffé par une saucisse, c'est là que on a appris que c'était une enfant qui était en coma. Donc pour cette raison qu'on a prié.
On y a été, oui. Mon père a même prié pour Mayline en Israël, à Jérusalem. Il avait organisé une prière pour elle. Et il avait été aussi voir un saint, mais alors je me souviens plus si c'était à Nazareth ou à Naria, où il avait été faire une prière aussi pour elle.
I heard that you, with a friend and teachers at the school, prayed for her. Do you remember that?
I prayed to give me my sister back because I was lonely without her. We were always together, and suddenly I was by myself. And I remember that I was in class and I was crying because I have the feeling that no one was praying for her. So I tell my teacher, and then she told me that no, everyone was praying for her, and I was praying that just she came back at home and we could play again together.
Prayers for Mayline's recovery came from all walks of life, from the small hands of children to desperate intercessions.
Donc elle nous a confié cette intention. Et donc, nous, on l'a confié à toute la communauté. Donc, nos sœurs de Lyon nous ont fait parvenir cette intention ici. Et donc, toute la communauté en France priait pour la guérison de Mayline. Je ne peux pas vous assurer que pendant 9 jours, on ait prié exactement à cette intention, mais on l'a prise dans notre prière, ça c'est sûr.
People clung to their unshakable faith, praying for a fragile life teetering on the edge of death. They sought a miracle from God, unseen yet present and intangible, yet undeniably real.
We moved from Lyon, it was the 1st of July, and because we were opening another restaurant in the south of France, and we had to move to Mandelieu again. The hospital was telling us that maybe we could move the body of Mayline if she died after she died, to bury her in the south, but she was still here. So they actually transfer her by ambulance to Nice, to the hospital of Nice.
She arrived the 2nd of July and we the 1st. So.
Mayline, still unconscious, was transferred from the hospital in Lyon to Nice to follow her parents.
Yes, when she went out of the ambulance, we could see she was very different. Something in her eyes was different. So we asked the nurse, something happened during the travel. And she said, no, nothing. She looks, in her eyes you can see something, like...
When she was in coma, once she opened her eyes and the eyes were very dark, very deep. It looks like we could see through the eyes until the end of the skull, and I remember that time when she opened her eyes and we looked at ourselves and we said, she's gone. And when she arrived in Nice, again, we were together and we looked at her and we said, she's back.
To Manu and Natalie, it was as if someone had flipped the switch of life back on. How could this be possible? Even the parents themselves could hardly believe it. Mayline had returned from the brink of death. In 2012, in France, 3-year-old Mayline was rushed to the ER, unable to read.
C'était en fait tellement rapide qu'on n'a pas eu le temps de comprendre.
She was rejecting blood of her mouth.
Quand nous sommes arrivés devant chez Mayline et ses parents, Mayline était en arrêt cardio-respiratoire.
Her condition was beyond recovery. She was declared brain dead.
And that she will probably not go through the night.
Sainte Marie, Mère de Dieu, priez pour nous pauvres pécheurs, maintenant et à l'heure de notre mort.
She said that maybe we could do a novena through the intercession of Pauline Jaricot.
Then the prayers began. The novena united countless hearts. What happened next was nothing short of extraordinary.
When she arrived in Nice, again, we were together and we looked at her and we said, she's back.
Mayline woke up, a mystery no medical explanation could unravel. What happened after that?
그리스도의 탄생은 가장 큰 기적이며 우리에 대한 사랑으로 모든 자연의 법칙을 넘어서신 하느님 권능의 생생한 표지입니다. 그런데 사람은 스스로 머리 위에 하늘을 닫고 어디로 가는지 알지 못한 채 절망에 이르도록 혼란에 빠집니다. 그러나 기억하십시오. 하느님은 우리에 대한 사랑으로 구원의 권능을 지니고 언제나 곁에 계십니다. 그런 관점에서 기적들이 살아계신 하느님의 표징이라는 것을 이해할 수 있습니다. 복녀 폴린 자리코와 어린 소녀 메일린의 기적 이야기를 담은 이 다큐멘터리를 보실 모든 분들이 믿음과 기도의 힘을 회복하시기를 기원합니다. 복녀 폴린 자리코의 중재 기도를 통하여 기적을 행하신 하느님께는 불가능한 일이 없습니다. 여러분 잊지 마십시오. 희망은 결코 우리를 실망시키지 않습니다. 서로를 위해 기도합시다.
I continue to trace this miracle, a story that defies all understanding. It is truly a blessing to share this story. Even the doctors had given up on her hopeless condition. But then came the day of grace, the day Mayline first woke up.
Nobody else could realize but the parents that you have realized that something happens to her and you felt the difference of her eyes. And I can share the excitement and then surprise that you went through on that day.
So he introduced everyone and he said, I wanted to tell you that the record doesn't match Mayline's status. And we didn't understand very well what he was saying. He says, I can tell you that she will not die in my building. This message was a kind of a hope, I would say. We'll keep her the way she is, and but they say again, this is going to be a huge amount of work that you are going to have to deliver to support Mayline. But we said, yeah, we'll do it.
You said for the first time you mentioned the word miracle, and then which means that miracle has starting to happen that day.
Yes, because from that day, after every day, you know, she did something makes us full of hope, because almost every day she did something different and better, you know. So of course you hope so much, and on the other side you think maybe it will stop one day. At one point it will stop and she will stay maybe like that, you know. But it was she progressed very fast, very quickly.
I visited the hospital where hope first flickered, the place where it became clear that Mayline would at the very least survive.
하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 5층이네요. 저기쯤 되겠네, 저기쯤. 모두가 행복한 얼굴, 웃는 얼굴로 산책을 하는 이 길에서 누워있는 딸 생각을 하면서 걸었을 아빠의 마음이 어떨지 생각만 해도 참 마음이 아픕니다. 그래도 또 또한 동시에 이 부활과 소생이 시작된 곳이니까 또 기쁜 기적의 현장이기도 하고요.
By the shores of Nice stands Langval Hospital. It was here that Mayline had her switch of life turned back on. Her brain, critically damaged at its central basal nuclei, regained the warmth of vitality. Yet doctors warned that she would remain bedridden and severely disabled for the rest of her life. How far could Mayline truly recover?
I feel proud of her. It was my only goal for her to learn how to walk and to have my sister back. I learned her how to walk in the backwards of the rooms, and when she could do a few steps, she went to the salon, and so I tell my parents, look at her, she can walk again. So they was very proud of her.
Her recovery defied all logic and imagination. It became undeniable proof of a miracle, one that speaks for itself. Having returned from the brink of death, Mayline began to sit, stand, and eventually walk on her own. I traveled to Mandelieu in Nice, the place where her incredible recovery began.
마누와 나탈리가 사랑에 빠진 것도 여기고, 또 이 아파트에서 가족들이 다 같이 행복하게 사는 걸 그렇게 꿈꾸었다고 하더라고요.
Born to Korean parents, Natalie Insil-Trang was adopted to France at just 6 months old. Could it be that God answered the prayers of this couple who dreamed of building a family and finding simple happiness together?
근데 그래도 기적적으로 그렇게 회복이 돼서
이 길에서 메일린이 처음으로 자전거를 배웠다고 그래요. 그러니까 마누하고 나탈리가 꿈꿨던 대로 메일린이 자라서 여기서 자전거 타고 놀이터에서 놀고 기적의 힘으로 가족의 행복을 찾은 거죠. 참 아름답네.
That summer, Mayline rode her bicycle again alongside this lakeside. United by love, the family found joy once more.
In December, Dr. Al said after watching the amazing change happened in Mayline, he said maybe possible for Mayline to go back to school. How did you feel after when you heard the news?
It was a very strange meeting with the doctor because basically, very short story, but he said to me, it's just like you're running out of gas. When you're driving a car, you stop, the engine stops, you wait a little bit, you start again the engine, and you can drive forever. And he said, he looked at me and says, is it possible? I said, no. And he said, well, this is Mayline.
This is the realm of the divine, beyond reason, logic, and what anyone thought possible. Mayline embodies the miracle herself. Her recovery was immediate, complete, and sustaining. It cannot be explained by the science. Mayline herself is a living proof of a miracle.
C'est une histoire qui a marqué ma vie parce qu'en fait, tout ce qu'on nous avait annoncé ne s'est pas passé. On n'arrivait pas à croire que Mayline ne survivrait pas. Quand on la voyait, on n'arrivait pas à y croire en fait.
Quand on a prié, elle était en coma, donc entendu les circonstances, je n'ai jamais pensé qu'elle va survécu, elle va venir en vivant, quoi. On a pensé que, voilà, peut-être, on n'avait jamais cru qu'elle va se réveiller.
Mayline est revenue, en fait, ils sont partis à Nice et ils sont revenus un an après pour la fête de l'école. Et nous étions très très émus, je me revois tout à fait. Il y a eu une messe lors de la fête et j'ai vu les parents de Mayline au fond de l'église avec Mayline et Luan. Et enfin, je suis encore très émue de ça.
What has changed is that she, due to the accident, she has a really but the love between us is the same. She really loves me and I really love her.
So the relationship now is much deeper than otherwise. That's what you're saying?
Yeah, it's deeper.
Okay.
Luan was reunited with the little sister she almost lost. Now, Mayline is happy beside the sister she had always admired. Countless people around the world prayed a novena for her.
In 2013, you met Elizabeth Descartes, who suggested the prayer. And how did it go, the meeting?
The very first time we got in relationship was over a phone call. She needed some time to make sure the call would be appropriate because Mayline was scheduled to die, and she didn't know how to approach us. And when she called us and she says, how's the family? We said, yeah, fine. How's everyone? Fine. And then she had to say, how's Mayline? And I said, good. She's going back to school in a few weeks. I think she called over the summer, I think. And I could feel a moment of silence, you know, this moment where she was thinking, what can I say more? And she said, she's going to school. I said, yes, she's going back to school. And I said, well, I'm happy for her, but she didn't go very deep in the questions.
Madame Descarac, I had hoped to meet her during my journey to uncover Mayline's miracle. She was the one who first inspired the Novena. 12 years ago, she lived in Lyon, but now she lives in Compiègne. I drove an hour and a half north of Paris to meet Madame Descarac in her home.
Hello. Hello. Good evening. Thank you. Yongmaan Park is my name. Silvano. Hello. Nice to meet you.
What is your name?
Yongmaan is my first name. Yes, yes. Last name Park. Okay. Thank you for meeting.
Entrez. Si vous voulez bien.
Her smile and warm presence matched the image I had in my mind of the woman who first proposed the Novena.
네, 오늘 이렇게 시간 내주시고 두 분이 저를 만나 주셔서 우선 감사드립니다. 9일 기도를 다 마치시고 노베나를 다 마치시고 난 다음에 그 메일린의 아빠한테 전화를 하셨다고 들었습니다. 어떤 마음이나 생각으로 하셨는지 그걸 좀 여쭤보고 싶습니다.
Elle allait avoir un état végétatif, mais qu'elle ne marcherait que difficilement, qu'elle ne marcherait pas, qu'elle ne mangerait pas, et c'était tout le contraire. Et pour moi, j'ai pensé que c'était un miracle. Et c'est pour ça que je suis allée voir le cardinal Barbarin, et qui m'a dit, mais quand il y a une grâce comme ça obtenue, il faut demander des dossiers médicaux. Alors, j'ai demandé à Emmanuel s'il était d'accord pour qu'on demande à l'hôpital de Lyon le dossier médical.
As I listened to her, I thought about how God uses those who pray to fulfill His plans.
C'est vrai que quand il y a un miracle comme ça et qu'on est chrétien, on a une grande reconnaissance envers le Seigneur. C'est vrai que voilà, il y a des grâces de guérison, c'est extraordinaire parce que ça nous fait grandir encore plus vers l'amour de Dieu.
Madame Descarac, the first to recognize it as a miracle from God, was the one who ensured Mayline's recovery reached the Vatican. Next, I went to Rome to meet the petitioner responsible for the miracle's approval. From Paris to Compiègne, Geneva, Annecy, and finally the Vatican, it was a long journey across borders. The quest to find the sites, events, and people tied to the miracle was long, but each step felt light with purpose. In February 2017, a priest, called Manu, Mayline's father, I went to see Archbishop Philip Courblier at the Dicastery for the Doctrine of the Faith.
Hello, how do you do? Park is mine. Nice to meet you.
Possiamo salire sul tetto così avremo una vista bellissima. Ecco.
This is beautiful.
It's very, very beautiful.
An undersecretary from one of the Vatican's key departments eagerly came forward as a witness to this miracle.
Allora è vero che essendo il postulatore della causa di Paolina Maria Jaricot, ho dovuto qui accogliere il caso che è stato sottoposto circa Mayline. Sono stato molto impressionato dalla bambina che ho incontrato con i suoi genitori e avendo in mente la storia che mi è stata raccontata prima, ho pensato è proprio quella ragazza che ha vissuto questo episodio terribile, che era molto vicina alla morte e che ormai vedo davanti a me. Diciamo che c'è una prima tappa nella valutazione medica che viene fatta da 2 medici prima di tutto e poi la prima valutazione viene sottoposta a un gruppo più ampio, 5, 6, 7 medici che devono pronunciarsi.
So, what are the Vatican's criteria and procedures for recognizing a miracle? I was introduced to an expert in the field, Dr. Valentina Karakanian.
Salve.
Dr. Karakanian, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Please.
Thank you for meeting you.
Okay. 저희가 지금 요번에 취재하는 내용이 이미 들으신 바와 같이 프랑스에 있었던 메일이라는 어린아이한테 일어난 기적에 대해서 취재를 하고 있습니다. 그래서 박사님께 저희가 여쭤보고 싶은 것은 바티칸에서 기적이라고 공인을 했을 때는 그것이 어떠한 의미이며 바티칸에서 기적이라고 공인하기 위해서는 어떤 조건이 충족돼야 하는가 그거를 좀 저희가 이해를 하고 싶어서 찾아왔습니다.
Esso deve essere verificato scientificamente e teologicamente. Sono determinati eventi, quindi, che lo permettono di poter fare. Lungo la storia e nella prassi attuale, nello studio della santità canonizzabile, sono ammessi soltanto quei casi in cui, riscontrati gli elementi costitutivi di un miracolo, è possibile dimostrarli sia in ambito scientifico che in ambito teologico, sulla base delle disposizioni di testimoni oculari e della documentazione raccolta durante un regolare processo vero e proprio. Occorre pertanto, da quanto abbiamo definito, che si tratti di avvenimenti di carattere fisico. In larghissima maggioranza sono guarigioni. È fondamentale che il miracolo avvenuto sia rapido, completo e duraturo nel tempo e sia soprattutto scientificamente inspiegabile.
Cases believed to be miracles are submitted by petitioners to the Dicastery for the Causes of Saints for review. Visiting the Dicastery on this journey was a rare privilege, one that felt like a grace in itself.
Ecco, questo è un inizio dell'archivio, perché quando dalle diocesi arrivano i processi, gli atti processuali, ecco, arrivano qui nelle scatole chiuse, vengono aperte e confezionate, preparate in questo modo, ecco, in forma di questi volumi, no? Questo è tutto un processo sui tutta la documentazione medica, c'è la copia ovviamente della documentazione medica. su un bambino, credo che questo, perché è quello che vedo. Questa è un'altra documentazione, le testimonianze, sempre.
This is documentation?
Yes, documentation and testimony. There's medical documentation, sì. Medical proof, yes.
For this lone investigator following Mayline's story, Undersecretary Boguslaw Turek provided a detailed explanation of the meticulous process required to recognize a miracle.
Okay. Sì. Okay.
Thanks to him, I came to understand just how strict and precise the validation process is.
E bisogna tenere presente che i miracoli nelle cause di beatificazione e canonizzazione costituiscono soltanto una tappa di un iter abbastanza complesso. Dal 2010 sono stati presentati qui in Dicastero 260 casi ritenuti miracolosi, e di questi 260 il Dicastero, dopo un approfondito esame, ha riconosciuto 156.
Each year, only a select few miracles pass this rigorous process and are archived in the Vatican's official records.
Qui ci sono
Paolina Maria Jaricot. 이거 전부 폴린 자리코에 가는.
Sì. Questo è sulle virtù e questo è il miracolo per la beatificazione. Sì. Il dossier che noi prepariamo.
Beatification, set, canonization, Pauline Maria Jaricot. 여기 보면 나오겠다.
Le deposizioni.
Something about Mayline skin miracle in here.
About?
There must be.
Che cosa?
Ah, here we go.
Sì, è tutta la documentazione che è qui.
Ah, 여기 있네. 메일인 줄 알고 이게 메일인 내 사진인 거 같네.
E queste sono le deposizioni, sì. Dei testimoni, dei medici.
의학적으로 테스트한 거 여기 다 있고.
Sì, perché questa è la relazione della consulta medica, no? La relazione dell'intera riunione dei medici, e alla fine c'è la definizione conclusiva. Questa è la cosa più importante.
Conclusion?
The conclusion of the medical board, no? La diagnosi, la prognosi, and this is the important. Guarigione rapida, completa, duratura, non spiegabile scientificamente.
One such document, certifying Mayline's healing as a miracle, marked the conclusion of this journey.
마지막 결론이야. 여기 보면 즉각적이고 완벽하고 지속적이고 설명이 불가능하고 라고 증명을 했네.
This is the medical opinion, and here this is theological opinion about the miracle.
Thousands of medical records are carefully reviewed, followed by a re-examination at the Vatican-designated medical facility. Only if it is conclusively determined to be medically impossible can the case move forward. In addition, it must be theologically verified as a divine act. Only then Thus, the case earned its place in the official Vatican archives. Pope Francis recognized Mayline's healing as a miracle attributed to the intercession of Pauline Jaricot, paving the way for her beatification.
We grant the faculty that the Venerable Servant of God, Pauline Marie Jaricot,
10 years after Mayline's accident, Pauline Jaricot was solemnly beatified in a mass led by Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle.
Year 2022, May 22nd, there was a beatification ceremony for Pauline Jaricot, and you participated in the ceremony. How did you feel? And how was that?
The Mass was just unbelievable. It was, I mean, this is something probably happened once in a lifetime, but 12,000 people praying together. The choir was amazing. I don't know, it's just, I remember when we were praying by the bed of Mayline, you felt like there were only two of us praying, because you don't know what's happening outside. And usually, and when you turn, you pray, you finish this prayer, and you turn and you feel like you're looking at 2 billion people praying at the same time with you, but you never know the existence of those people. And when we had the beatification, it was exactly the same. It's all of a sudden, you had all those people with you praying, thanking, and it's just magic.
Something Mayline's parents said left a deep impression on me. Manu said that from the moment the novena began, everything unfolded beyond anything they could have imagined or understood. He found that the prayers offered from Europe, Asia, and around the world were, at their core, an expression of pure love.
E il Signore, veramente il Signore, è intervenuto in questa vita per salvare questa bambina. Dunque questo è una cosa straordinaria per la bambina e per la sua famiglia, per i suoi amici, ma questo significa anche per noi, che il Signore può intervenire in qualsiasi situazione, anche molto drammatica, anche in una situazione dove ci sono tante sofferenze, che noi dobbiamo sempre avere fede in Dio, credere che Lui può salvarci, può intervenire, può aiutarci e noi veramente lo preghiamo con grande, grande fede.
It goes beyond what is normal to give us even a stronger message that He takes care of us, that He doesn't forget us.
La cosa importante è sempre di non dimenticare, di non aspettare il miracolo, ma avere il coraggio e la fede sufficiente di metterci in ginocchio davanti a Dio e avere sempre fiducia che il Signore interviene in maniera forte, potente e presente.
Ultima perché Papa Francesco ha introdotto questa nuova via verso la santità che è l'offerta della vita, cioè l'offerta che una persona fa della propria vita a Dio e ai fratelli. In questo caso non si richiede un esercizio eroico delle virtù, ma un esercizio ordinario, perché l'elemento essenziale appunto è il dono che un fedele cristiano, seguendo Gesù, fa della propria vita.
On Christmas, amidst celebration of the miracle of baby Jesus coming to the world, I listened to devout priests reflect on the meaning of the miracles.
많은 그 사제분들께서 기적은 기도에 대한 응답이라는 이야기를 해주셨습니다. 구체적인 기적을 따라가 보면서 그 이야기를 들으니까 그 이야기가 많이 공감이 됐습니다. 메일린의 기적을 가능케 한 것은 그게 뭘까라고 생각하면 답이 안 나올 것 같지만 의외로 답은 아주 간단한 데 있었습니다. 메일린에게 일어난 기적은 주님께서 우리를 사랑하시기 때문에 생겼고요. 그리고 기도를 통해서 그분께 구했기 때문에 기적이 일어난 것 같습니다.
God loves us beyond measure. That is the simple yet profound truth I discovered on this journey. Manu and I became friends, the kind of friends who understand each other without needing words.
Beautiful place.
Yeah, I love it.
This is the last question. It's a really long and amazing story. Thanks for telling me all those vivid and in detail about what happened and this truly amazing story. For you, Manu, and for you, Natalie, what would be the miracle if you define?
There are things that we see that are huge, just the healing of Mayline. Some others we don't see because we don't have the eyes open all the time, just to prove everyone that God is here and with us all the time, and that we should thank for all the love, not only that He gives us, but the love that through others we receive, and we should never forget this. And sometimes you could be in despair, the worst moments, and it's how He reveals His power and magnificence and love. I think that's the miracle for me.
That's a great story. Thank you. Merci beaucoup.
I heard the full story of Mayline's miracle. It was more heartwarming and beautiful than any story I had ever read or heard. A true happy ending.
기적을 찾아 떠난 이번 여행 중 가장 마음에 드는 곳 안시에 왔습니다. 이곳은 죽기 전에 꼭 가봐야 될 세 도시 중에 하나라고 할 만큼 풍경이 참 아름다운 곳이죠. 기적의 실체 그리고 기적의 주인공인 메일린이 살고 있는 도시라서 아마 제게는 더 아름답게 보이는지도 모릅니다.
The afternoon sun cast a golden glow. Before leaving France, there was one thing I wanted to do. Meet Mayline after school and walk her home.
Okay, let's go. How was the day? Good, good.
As the evening settled, the family returned, each having lived their day to the fullest. Mayline's family gathered together. In the kitchen, Manu and Natalie were busy preparing what seemed to be a special meal. I couldn't help but wonder what they had planned for their guest, who had traveled all the way from Korea, bringing so many questions.
Protéger toutes les personnes qui croient en Jésus. Amen. Père, du Fils, Saint-Esprit. Amen. So, cheese from the mountains, ham from the mountains, and potato from the mountains.
Manu's jokes fell flat sometimes, but his cheerful spirit was certainly contagious. Manu and Natalie's countless prayers brought them back together as a family of four again. If those prayers were stacked, would they rise as high as the mountains that gave us ham, cheese, and the potatoes? Each morning in Annecy felt like a new painting coming to life. We visited Lake Annecy, one of Mayline's favorite places.
Beautiful. Mayline, do you remember anything?
No, anything.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Okay. I understand because you are so young at that time.
Yes.
Okay.
To my joy, Mayline's answer to my final question was exactly what I had been praying for.
우리는 한 아이에게 일어난 기적의 여정을 따라 여기까지 왔습니다. 근데 이 아카이브에 도착해서 수없이 많은 기적의 증거들을 만났습니다. 바티칸에서
지나치리만큼 엄격하게 심사해서 공인된 기적들만이 이미 이 거대한 서고를 가득 채우고 있습니다. 이 방대한 자료들을 보면서 드는 생각이 있습니다. 예수님께서는 2000년 전에 이 땅에 계실 때나 승천해서 하늘에 오르신 뒤나 그분은 한결같으셨습니다. 한결같이 우리 곁에 계시면서 한결같이 기적을 행해오고 계셨습니다. 아마 앞으로도 한결같이 기적을 행하고 계실 것으로 믿습니다. 다만 보면 믿고 보이지 않으면 믿지 못하는 나약한 우리 인간만이 변해온 것 같습니다.
The long journey took me from Vatican City to the quiet French village of Annecy at the foot of the Alps, from Nice to Lyon, and from Paris to Compiègne. The 41,000-kilometer journey of flying across skies and traveling numerous roads remain as vivid as if it happened only yesterday. Along the way, I encountered undeniable evidence of a miracle, preserved in official records and in the hearts and memories of so many. I met angels of prayer who shared the pain of a child they had never met, stood firm against despair, and walked together in hope and faith. I realized that a miracle is simply another name for prayer, a gift from God. For Mayline, the girl who returned from death, every single day is miracle.